Mic check one, mic check two, mic check one, mic check two. Ah, yeah. Welcome to 904 DZ. We go ahead and get into it. You can see from the title what this one's going to be about. This one is concerning the horrors of a prison swell room. The horror. Something awful. I know you've been listening to a good number of prison stories from various people who've done time in various prisons, be it state or federal. I can pretty much guarantee that whether it's state or federal, they also had a swell room. Every prison has a swell room. And oh my God, the horror that you will encounter when you enter a prison swell room. Now, I'm speaking from the angle of a correctional officer. Yeah, I was a correctional officer. So, I was not a prisoner. I was not an inmate. I was not incarcerated. I worked there. Yeah. So I bear witness to the horrors of a prison well room. That ain't. Turn the music down just a little bit. Just a little bit. Make sure you can hear me. The horrors of a prison swell room. Now, some of you out there probably wondering now, what the hell is a prison swell room? Is that a pause-worthy moment? What is a swell room? Swell? That sounds pause-worthy all by itself. It's the most horrible thing you can ever encounter. When you walk into a prison swell room and you see what's going on in there, your eyes will about fall out of your head. The hairs on the back of your neck gonna stand up. The hairs all over your body gonna stand up. You're instantly gonna want to shut that door. Your first instinct is just to shut the door. Get me the hell out of here. What are they doing in here? What are all these bodies doing in here? You know, one of the troll jobs that correctional officers use is to take the new recruit or the female recruits or whomever you think you'll get a good laugh from, take them to the prison swell room and see what their reaction is going to be for the first time. And it never disappoints because no human is ready to see what transpires in a prison swell room. You're not ready for it. None of us is ready for it. I thought that I could take it. I thought that my stomach could take it. I thought that me being a man's man, I could take it. You know, ex-military, private military. I've seen a lot of things over in Africa, in the Middle East. And I was not ready for a prison swell room. I was not ready. I just kept my heart say, "You're not ready. I wasn't ready. No." I mean, when you're thrust into that prison swell room, the pure shock and terror makes you want to just lose it and just tear your way out of there. You know, if the door is shut on you, you know, if the officer's trolling and they close the damn door on you, you're damn to tear it down trying to get out of there. You know, the primal guttural emotion and response that it brings from you seeing all of those bodies. The smell. I haven't even mentioned the smell. The smell, you can smell it before you even get to the door. It's just an abomination that things like this go on in every prison, in a prison near you. Now, I know that a lot of you all are wondering exactly what is a prison swell room. I'm going to tell you what it is, but I'm going to show you the best image I can that represents a prison swell room. That's what I'm going to do first. Let me see if I can share my screen. Bear with me. Share screen. This is what a prison swell room looks like, ladies and gentlemen. This is what a prison swell room looks like. This is just a small percentage of what you will see when you enter a prison swell room. You will see more than what's on this pitch. You will see approximately 1,000 of these. And when you walk in that prison swell room, and you normally do it quickly and unexpectedly, when you walk in that prison swell room and you click that light, the light's right there by the door as you walk in. So you walk in, the door may shut behind you, and you click that light that's immediately to your right hand side. And when the light comes on, this is what you see. 1,000 of these. And while you're in shock, they're also in shock. They are also in shock. And they begin scrambling. You hear me? They begin scrambling. And they already know where their exit is, where they have to get away from you. And normally their exit is like a couple of holes that are located around that room. Just a couple of holes. And they aren't big cavernous holes. They are, probably rat-sized holes. So I want you to picture this. While you're standing there in shock, there's 1,000 of these bodies scrambling, trying to get away from you and the light, and they're trying to squeeze into a couple of rat-sized holes. Some of these holes are up on the ceiling. Some of them might be floor level. Mind that I said there's only about 3, maybe 4 of them. So 1,000 rats are trying to get into those one rat at a time holes. So they scrambling over each other. They pulling each other. You can hear them crawling. They all up on the pipes on the ceiling. They crawling up the wall. They're jumping out of where they were at. Because when you walked in, the situation was they were in what we store in the swell room. We store, let's say, like 20 55-gallon buckets that we put leftover food in and let it like ferment and rot. So every rat on the compound comes through the swell room, I would guess, to get itself a meal. So they're jumping out of these 55 gallon barrels. They're jumping out. There's pure havoc and hell going on. They're they're squeaking, depending upon what officer it is that went in to view this. They're screaming, they're clawing at the door trying to get out. Officers on the other side of the door holding the damn door, laughing their ass off. So there's this total pandemonium. And you're forced to watch 1,000 rats disappear behind the wall and within the ceiling through 3 or 4 holes the size of a rat body. So it takes what seems like 2-3 hours. And you mess around, your hair will turn white while you're witnessing that, and you're locked in there. And eventually it gets to the point where they are all gone and you're left there in shock. You're left there in shock and horror. Depending upon who you are, you may be crying. You're threatening people. Like, I'm gonna beat y'all ass if y'all don't open this goddamn door. I'm gonna beat y'all ass for trying me like this. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is the horror of a swell room. No human being should have to witness that. But that swell room and the thousands of rats that occupy it at that time is just an example of the rats on the compound. Every prison is infested with rodents, infested with them. I've never seen so many rats in my life, and I've lived in New York. I'm from Florida. I've seen rats, but I've never seen so many rats in my life. And this is what your loved ones have to live in. They have to live with rats. In doing my rounds at night, because a lot of time, well, most of the time, hell, all of the time, I work the damn night shift. So while I was doing my damn rounds and I'm shining my light into the inmate cell, they can see that they're still living, checking to make sure they aren't in there doing a damn funky worm or whatever, though I really didn't care. If I saw it, I keep on moving. I might yell out, "Hey, is it consensual? Does anyone want to file a complaint?" No? All right, I'm out of here. I ain't see nothing. What you do, bruh? No. As I was looking into their cells at night, their cells would also be infested with rats. You will look into some cells where the inmates are asleep. It's dark, they're asleep or whatever, and there are rats all over them. Then they're sleeping, don't even know that there are rats all over them. I remember I came to this one guy's cell, white guy, crazy looking white guy. He had long hair, looked like a hippie or whatever, tall, thin white guy. Came to his damn cell and I shined my damn light in. And when you shine your damn light in, your light illuminates like the entire cell room. The inmates get used to it. They stay sleeping. A lot of times they don't even wake up. So I shine my damn light in. He didn't have a 1,000 rats, but he did have about 30 of them in there. And it's crazy because the way he was sleep sitting on his bed Indian style, right? He's on his bed Indian style with his legs crossed, and he had his head down, and he had long hair, so his long hair was over his damn face, and there were rats just all over him, all over his bed, all over his room floor, just everywhere. So normally when I was doing my rounds, I would look as quickly as possible. I'm talking about my flashlight would be in the inmate cell maybe 2 seconds. I'm really not even checking to see if you're still breathing. I'm taking it for granted that you're still breathing. Um, you know, I would have a pretty good pulse on my area if anyone was suicidal. So I really didn't worry about things like that. To be honest, the inmates usually look forward to me working that shift or working their wing or their dorm or whatever, because I'm a cool nigga, you hear me? You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool in the streets and I'm cool while I'm down working. This is Deezy here, 904 Deezy. You know what I'm saying? If you're ever in prison down here in Florida, ask them about me. They might know me. You know what I'm saying? But so this guy's room was just infested with damn rats. I paused there a little bit longer than I normally would because I wanted to make sure that I was seeing what I thought I was seeing. I like, am I seeing this? Should I wake him up? Does he need help? But then said, nah, he know what he's doing. He's been here however many weeks, months, years. He know what the hell going on. And sure enough, when I came back around in the morning and I actually talked to him, and I was like, bro, you know it's about 1 million rats in your cell last night? And yes, laugh. Yeah, I know. Those are my friends. And I'm like, yeah, okay, all right. I just wanted to let you know in case you didn't know, plug up any of the holes in your cell so that they can't get in, you know. But he knew, and he just happened to be all right with it. Now it's also funny when the guys are not okay with it. A lot of people, hell no, they not okay with it. You know what I'm saying? I remember I was working this one wing. I think it was my first time on. I think it's G wing at Florida State Prison. Florida State Prison, where you were killed at after serving your time on death row. That's where they put that needle in your arm at. But yeah, I was working G wing at Florida State Prison, and we had just reopened G wing. They had did whatever repairs to it. They painted, fixed the floor up, probably did some improvement, or what they would call improvements to the cells. Fixing toilets, some sink. And we had just moved, because I work night shift, so we really didn't deal with much. We just came in while you were asleep and watched over you while you were sleeping. So they had just moved in. How many viewing held? I think it was like 106. They had just moved in 106 inmates. So this was their first night on that wing. And the block was excited. Inmates, yelling and seeing walls in there with them. Hey, up on the 3rd floor. Who up there? Hey, down on the 2nd floor. who's down there? This is such and such. Then someone would offer, hey, this is such and such. Hey, what up, yo? I was at camp such and such with you, you know. So that went on for most of the early part of the night. I used to get there at 6. If I'm not wrong, no. When I was working at Florida State Prison, I got there at 12. At 12. So get there at 12 midnight, and things are calming down. When I got there, the lights were still on. You know, they were still having basically what you call a damn prison party. So get there, it's time to, you know, quiet things down. And we go ahead and tell them, all right, lights out, and go ahead and quiet down quiet down just a little bit. You know, don't holler from the 3rd floor to the 1st floor. You know, you can holler from cell to cell, whatever. You know, I know they aren't kids, and you know, grown men gonna talk, outgrown men gonna talk. So I really didn't press them too hard about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I could deal with just about anything. But so the light, we turned out the lights in the cell. The light in the hallway or the walkway is still on, but the light in the cell are off. Inmates used to it, you know. Anyone who's been in prison for any amount of time, this is nothing new to them. So the lights in the cell off, the lights in the showers off, the lights in the walkway is on. And I'm guessing that was a signal to the rat. The lights go out, that's where the party starts. And I tell you what, the party started. So how G-Wing at Florida State Prison is set up is that there's 3 floors on 2 separate sides. 3 floors on 2 separate sides. To the front of each side is a big room that's connected to both corridors leading down both sides. So you have a side over here to your right, then you have a side to your left. In the middle is what's called a gangway or a pipe room. That's where all of their toilets and sinks are hooked up to have water. And it separates those sides. All right. So right side, left side. You have a walkway on each side. Outside of the corridor is a room that extends from the right corridor to the left corridor, but you're outside of. There's a secure door on each floor that you have to open with a master key to get in, to walk down. Each corridor on each floor was like 16 cells long. 2 inmates to each cell. So us officers sat outside in our officer area, and when it was time for us to do our rounds, we would get up, get the key. We would do our round on the top floor, all the way down, all the way back down, come out, lock the door, come down to the 2nd floor, all the way down, back down, lock the door, go down to the 1st floor, come back up to the 2nd floor, cross over, go to the 3rd floor, 2nd, 1st, and that was our round. So we were outside of their corridors, separate from them. But we could hear everything that was going on on their quarter. So we would be out there trolling each other or doing whatever we're doing, listening to them. You know what I'm saying? So after lights out, all of a sudden you start hearing something, a sound that was odd. You know, it's always like a little rumble, a lot of conversation, yelling, a lot of Jones and a lot of cracking jokes, threats. You hear that all day, all night. But you start hearing yelling. You start hearing grown men yelling. And then you start hearing grown men calling your darn name. Officer! Hey, Sarge! Officer! Sarge! And you try to ignore it at first because that's really kind of odd on that wing. There's really not many problems. You know, as an officer, you get accustomed to inmates calling your name all day, all night. Hey, Sarge, let me talk to you. Hey, Sarge, can you do this for me? Hey, Sarge, hey, Sarge, hey, Sarge. So you learn to type tune it out. You hear me? But when you've been doing it for a while, you know when there's really something going on. You know? So as I'm talking to the other officers and I'm listening, I keep hearing, hey, Sarge, Sarge. I know something wrong. I tell the other officers, hey, something's going on. Let me go see what's going on. I'll be back. Get the keys. Sarge, Sarge, where you at? I'm up here, Sarge. Third floor, Sarge, cell, blah, 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 blah. I'm on the way. Go up there. Open up the secure gate. Where you at? I'm in cell, blah, blah, blah. I'm walking down there, taking all the damn cells while I'm going down there. I get to him. This grown man is standing up on his damn property box. I'm like, yo, what's wrong? Is your cell flooding? Oh, my son, rat. Rat? Yeah, man, it's a lot of rats around here, bro. I thought you was damn used to that. Sorry, not like this. I'm talking about rats. So while I'm talking to him, there's other inmates calling me, Sarge, Sarge, Sarge. Yo, 904. Whoa, come on, holler at me. Come holler at me. Where you at? I'm down here first floor. I'm just flooded with inmates yelling and screaming, and you start hearing a lot of movement and stuff being thrown. Now, mind you, like I said, this is their first night on this wing. They did not know what to expect. Hell, we didn't know what to expect. Like I said, this wing had been closed for some damn months. We didn't know that it must have been a rat breeding ground. Because I also failed to mention that when I'm doing my damn rounds, checking to make sure everyone is still okay, I'm having to kick rats out of my damn way. That's how I had got to it. That's the point I had got to. I got to the point of being so used to rats being in prison that it didn't really faze me. So I would be walking, doing my damn count, rat a run across my damn boot. I just football kick them over. Wow! Inmates used to darn laugh at me because they know when I just kicked one, and then you would hear the darn rat squeak. But that night caught them off guard at the sheer number of rats. I had never seen so many grown men who did not sleep the entire night. They stayed up the entire night standing up. Some of them were standing on their bed. Others were standing on their property box. They were doing things like taking their clothes. This was an open bar, what we call an open bar, an open bar dorm, a wing. Call it a wing. So all of them had open bars, like what you would see in a classic jail movie. So these weren't closed doors; these were open bars. So as you walk down, you were looking at them face to face. They were right there. You know, it's just the bars to their cell separating you from them. So they were trying to keep rats out by stacking things up close to the close to the bars. You know what I'm saying? They were stacking things up. They were stacking clothes up. They were tying clothes up, trying to keep those rats out. But none of it worked. Rats are quite smart. They're very athletic. They're very persistent. So that was a very interesting night. I need to make a darn separate story for that, where I go into detail concerning that night or countless other nights. Called that Night of the Rats. But if you're going to go to prison, just get very comfortable with rats. I swear, Wody, you may as well get very comfortable with rats, because they're going to be a part of your life. But getting back to what this story started off being about, the prison swell room. No human should have to witness that horror at all. Prison swell room. I'll throw the picture up. Well, no, I don't feel like throwing the picture up again. But just imagine walking into a room that's about 20 by 20, filled with about 20 55-gallon barrels filled with rotten, spoiled, fermented food, and that's just a rat buffet. And those rats are shocked when you walk in and suddenly flick that light on, and it's like a stampede for the couple of exits that they can get out and avoid you. Thousands of rats, and I'm not talking about little mices either. I'm talking about full body rats. Rats almost as big as cats, and it takes a man not piss on himself while witness to that. But anyway, this your boy 904 DZ. I'm about to sign out. Turn my music up just a little bit with a loop background. It's your boy 904 DZ. I'm about to call it a night. Look for me in the future. DZ. Signing out. 904. Uh-huh. We out of here. You know I'm